Yo, what's good? Football fans. You ever stop to think about what's really going down in Washington? The off-season had us hyped, but now, are we stuck in the same old rut? Or is there finally a legit plan in place? The front office is making some bold moves, and there's a new spark that could flip the script for this offense. Plus, we've got a major injury shaking things up on the O-line. Could this be a bigger problem than they're letting on? Oh, and hold up, there's a blockbuster rumor in the trade market that could turn everything upside down. But first, drop your take. Do you trust this new regime? Or does this feel like déjà vu? Smash that subscribe button, hit the bell, and let's dive into the breakdown. Let's talk about a guy who's flying under the radar but could be a game changer. Meet Jaylen Lane. This kid came into the draft quietly, 4th-round pick out of Virginia Tech. No big hype. But let me tell you, he's lighting it up in camp and turning heads. Cliff Kingsbury, who doesn't dish out praise lightly, is already singing this guy's praises. Lane's adapting like a vet, soaking up the playbook like he's been in this offense for years. They're moving him all over, slot, wide, outside, and he's not phased one bit. And let's talk numbers. 34 in the 40 at the combine, crazy shuttle time, explosive cuts. That's rare, folks, especially for an offense that's been stuck in neutral, predictable, and borderline apologetic when it comes to big plays. Here's the kicker. Lane's going up against studs like Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, and Michael Gallup in practice. That's a masterclass in NFL football right there. You think a guy like that's gonna step on the field shaking? Nah, he's built for this. And I'm calling it now. If Lane brings that camp energy to game day, someone's losing snaps. Sorry, KJ Osborne, Noah Brown. But this kid's coming for spots. The Commanders need this fresh blood, this speed. Let's be real. How long have we suffered watching an offense with no real deep threat? Remember the days of Art Monk, Gary Clark, the Posse crew? That was vertical football, baby. Lane's not on their level yet, but he's the kind of weapon who can stretch the field, pull coverage off our playmakers, and maybe, just maybe, be the X factor that flips a game. But it's not just about Lane. If he pans out, our WR room could be straight up dangerous. Pair that with Jayden, Daniel's mobility, and cannon of an arm. And we're talking about an offense that can do more than just dink and dunk screens and slants. That's the kind of firepower we need to hang with the NFC East. Because let's face it, Dallas and Philly aren't playing around. But the big question is, can Lane handle the heat when the pads come on for real? We're about to find out. And hold tight, because what's going on with our O-line is going to blow your mind. Now, let's get to something that's been keeping me up at night. Sam Cosmi. You know him, the guy the front office believed in, so much they didn't even wait for his contract to end before locking him up. 4 years, $74 million, $45 million, guaranteed. Big money for a big-time player. Cosmi was a beast last season. A rock on the line, one of the few guys holding it together. But then, boom. Knee injury in that wild playoff game against Detroit. You remember that one, right? Heart-pounding, gritty win. Pure emotion. But then Cosmi's down, and we're all holding our breath. Now Dan Quinn's out here saying everything's fine. Cosmi's hitting all his markers. His work is impressive. Sounds good, right? But let's cut through the coach speak. That's just a fancy way of saying, we hope he's back soon, but we don't really know. Here's where it gets dicey. Without a healthy Cosmi, our O-line could crumble like a house of cards. Sure, we brought in Laramie Tunsil at LT and drafted Josh Connerly to develop, but the interior? Can you really trust Brandon Coleman or Andrew Wiley at guard? I'm not sold. This feels too much like those dark post-Gibbs years when we were losing. Battles in the trenches before the ball was even snapped. A good offense lives or dies by its line, and without Cosmi at 100%, we're gonna struggle to stop the Eagles' interior pressure, open lanes for Brian Robinson, or keep Jayden Daniels upright. Daniels can scramble, sure, but he can't be running for his life every play. What bugs me most is Quinn's vague updates. Hitting markers. Cool, but where's the timeline? If we start the season without Cosmi at full strength, Brace yourself. Those nightmares of 7 to 8 sacks a game could come roaring back. And speaking of pressure, you won't believe what the front office is cooking up for the backfield. Hold up, because this one's a bombshell. James Cook. Yup, you heard that right. The rumor mill's buzzing about the Bills' running back, who's caught in a contract drama up in Buffalo. Cook's reportedly asking for $15 million a year, top 4 RB money in the NFL. Is he good? Absolutely. Is he that good? That's the debate. The Bills know paying him that kind of cash doesn't add up, not with Josh Allen eating up their cap space. So now there's talk of a trade, and guess who's in the mix? Your Washington Commanders. Picture this. Jayden Daniels is in year 2 of his rookie deal. Prime time to build around him. This offense needs weapons, playmakers who can change games. Brian Robinson, tough as nails but limited. Jackery Krosky Merritt, 7th-round pick, total long shot. Then there's Cook, a guy who can stretch the field, make plays in the passing game, break tackles, and produce at a high level when healthy. But here's the million-dollar question, literally. Is it worth betting big on a running back, knowing how short their shelf life is in the NFL? And do we trust this front office to pull off a move like this without tripping over their own feet? We've seen this movie before. Remember the Albert Hainsworth disaster? Burned us bad. But things feel different now. Daniels is the QB of the future. The O-line's being rebuilt, and maybe, just maybe, it's time to go all in. If the front office thinks Cook is the missing piece to support our young QB and compete in the NFC East, it could be worth the gamble. But what if it backfires? What if we pay up and Cook becomes another bust on the long list of Commanders' disappointments? Would you roll the dice on this? Because I'm telling you, this front office needs a big win. And they need it now. So, what's your call? Is Cook the key to our playoff push, or a mistake that'll haunt us for years? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to see this debate light up. So, Commanders Nation, here's the deal. We've got a rookie wideout, proving he's more than just a roster spot. An O-line with a massive question mark if Cosme's not 100%, and a trade market that could explode if the front office pulls the trigger on James Cook. Everything's on the line, and these moves could be the difference between another year of heartbreak or the start of a new era for the Burgundy and Gold. So, what's your take? Do you trust this front office to make the right calls, or are we still missing that killer instinct in Washington? Hit the comments, subscribe, and don't miss a single breakdown. We're living and breathing Commanders. Football with passion and insight.